Bandwidth for this podcast is brought to you by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mac Break Work, and I'm here again. I'm with, Richard Harrington. Hey, how's it going?
Good, good.
And what are we talking about today?
Well, there's a cool feature across iWork called a mail merge, and a lot of people don't use it because they just hear the words mail merge. It's like, but I don't need it for mail.
But I don't understand, and
Yeah.
it's always something that people get, and it's a great way. I mean, this is the kind of, we got into huge merges where we do catalogs and yellow pages and stuff like that, and all of it's about some kind of a merge function.
Yeah, and you can use it for simple things too, like here we're going to use it for a certificate. I mean, this particular example is like a classroom example if you were a teacher, but anything. Gift certificates, envelopes, form letters, you name it.
Well, and a lot of the way I approach all of these kind of problems, whether it's using Automator and AppleScript or using something like Mail Merge, if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, really the computer's really good at that.
My rule is if I have to do something more than 5 times, I'm going to figure out a way to automate it.
Even if it takes longer.
Yeah, it's a matter of personal pride, because I know eventually I'm going to have to come back to that.
Right, and then they'll be amortized over the many times that you had it there. So how does this work?
Sure, well what we do is you have to insert a particular thing. So if you go under insert, you see you got lots of things, and you got a merge field. So we got things like, in this case, I'm going to say insert first name and insert last name.
And those are already pre-built. Can you add new ones? Can you? Where does that come from?
So you can have them however you want, and you can manually sort of create them. Let's just unhighlight that. There we go. Space and insert merge field last name. You know, some of that's being driven in this case because I recently had a document open, and so it's referencing that document.
It just because you had it open, and you didn't even need to tell it anything.
But over here in the inspector, you see sort of buried under the little hyperlink tab, the link inspector, you got merge, and so you can add whatever you want, and then you've got a pop-up list here, and you start to map them. See, in this case, why it's being so nice is we've already picked a document.
Right.
So, you know, let's go ahead, and it's automatically mapping. If you didn't pick a document, it would look. So you can use a list or a numbers document. Let's just show how we do that part. You click choose, and then you go to your spreadsheet.
Right.
Okay. So if you did that, then it's really easy, because when you saw insert, it automatically said, oh, well, these are all the fields that you could choose from.
Right.
And if you got multiple pages, you could pick them. But, you know, that's all it is. Like if we look at that original spreadsheet, let's just pop out there for a second, you'll see here that, you know, we had a field, first name, last name, grade, homeroom.
Right.
You know,
so that's where it's getting.
Yeah, you can use anything.
Right.
So, you know, if you had 50 fields, you'd have 50 choices.
Okay, great.
And so, you know, we got that, insert first name, last name, format the font. We want to save some time, though. Like, we've got a field here for a faculty advisor signature.
Right.
So one of the things that I do, although you got to be careful with this sort of file, is, and I'll just ask, do you have your signature electronically?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, all security experts say you shouldn't do it, but then you go, but it's so damn convenient.
But it's just like, but it's great. I can just kind of pop it on there. No, I have to admit, mine is it's encrypted.
Okay.
And then it's also the only other place it exists that isn't encrypted is in Adobe's like certificate process.
For PDF,
For PDF, and so I am a little careful with it. Although mine's like a swirly. I mean, I always like when
mental note, get a check, swirl, deposit.
No, but it's a very specific swirl. You know, like there's actually, you know, my wife tried to do it because she was making fun of it, and
she couldn't.
It was much more complicated.
The power of the swirl.
It's an encrypted swirl.
Well, you can go to your file if you have one, choose it, you know, and add it to your document here, and then what we'll do is we'll click the alpha button, and we could just knock out the paper, you know, and you can get all precise if you want, but, you know, long story short, we got a clean signature there.
Right.
Just sort of.
Which did you do? Now, here's the question: is the way I did mine? Did you do this with a Wacom tablet?
No, I just scanned it.
Okay.
I just wrote it with a Sharpie marker on a piece of paper and scanned it in. But you could do a Wacom tablet, you know.
When I decided I needed it, I was on a plane. I was on an airport in Africa, and I was kind of like, and I need to sign this right now. And
trackpad on a mouse might be a little hard.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway.
So good enough. So we have this here, and of course the feature is totally buried. It's under, of all places, the edit menu.
Of course.
Because where you make new files is the edit menu.
Exactly.
So we say mail merge, and it says, okay. And again, it just double checks things. It says, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm using this particular numbers document. Or you can use your address book. And it says, what do you want to do?
So you could send something to everybody in your address book.
or a specific
it'll let you
group.
A specific group. Perfect.
Yeah, so you got that choice.
That's great.
So, of course, let me just repick that. There we go. And you come down here and you check, and you say, well, how do you want to map it? Well, first name is going to first name, last name is going to last name.
Always a
cake.
thinker. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, call it what it is.
Yeah.
And then the big choice is, do you want to make a new document or go right to your printer?
Right.
So you can make a new document if you want to have it for use again, or just send it. But when I'll do a new document, I click merge, it goes through, uses this as a template, took every set of students' names from that spreadsheet, and there it is, ready to go. Every single one is all set. So piece of cake, you know, obviously form letters, anything.
And the thing is not only does this save time, but it actually saves you from making errors.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big thing is when you want to touch that data as few times as possible. Every time you try to retype it, every time you try to put something in, every time you even cut and paste, there's a lot of errors that can occur that just don't occur when you're running it automatically. There's new errors that occur here.
Yeah, I mean, in my case with the address book, I generally only add new people from the address book using data detectors. So I'm in a client's email, and I pull the info right from their email to a card.
Right.
So
that's
then
the best way to do it.
Yeah, because then when I send them a letter, it's however they spelled their name or their title or anything else. There's no errors.
Exactly.
So perfect feature.
Fantastic. Where can people find more of this from you?
You can learn all sorts of stuff about iWork in the Apple Training Series book on iWork. Wrote that, and they could check out Red Pixel. Just take a look for us on the web. Lots of different stuff.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Thanks, Richard. And thank you for watching Mac Break